Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. The AP Top 25 Week 3 poll dropped today, this morning, roughly 12 o'clock Mountain Time, 2 Eastern. So we're going to go ahead and talk about that, kind of what's going on, all 25 teams, my instant reaction on Week 2. And we're going to go ahead and get into it. With the number 1 team remaining, the Georgia Bulldogs. They defeated Ball State as expected, obviously. Who expected this team to lose to Ball State? I mean, Ball State's horrible. So obviously that was a good Georgia team. Now that's now 2-0. Cutting into South Carolina in Week 3 on the road. Again, I think Georgia is going to go undefeated again this year, but they won't win the chip. But Bulldogs remain 1. No surprises there. Number 2, remaining 2, remains Michigan. J.J. McCarthy to Roman Wilson. They beat UNLV 35-7. Obviously, no surprises in that one. Obviously, the Michigan Wolverines do look like a legitimate championship team this year with Blake Corum. He looks like a Heisman contender at running back. J.J. McCarthy is going to be in the conversation all year long. And I think, without a doubt, the Michigan Wolverines remain the number 2 team in the nation heading into Week 3, where they have another easy match of the first 4 games without their head coach, Jim Harbaugh. Obviously, Florida State moves up 1 spot to number 3, and they destroyed Southern Miss. I think the final was 62-3 or something. Absolute domination. They are for sure the best team in the ACC and arguably the best team in college football. I think this team is national championship contenders with Jordan Travis, the receiving core, Keon Coleman, Johnny Wilson, guys like tight end Jaheim Bell. The defense is looking stacked. This Florida State team very much could. And I think will maybe get an up and win and dethrone Georgia's 3-peat. Number 4, moving up 7 spots is Texas. And my God, this team defeating Alabama last night on the road. That was insane. I didn't see it coming, man. They dominated Quinn Ewers with the buzz. He looks really tremendous. The deep ball, he was on point. I think Texas is a legitimate college football playoff contender right now, and they are no worse than I think a team like Michigan and Georgia. I think Texas will go undefeated, will finish 12-0, make the college football playoff. I think Texas is a very good team this year in 2023. Number 5, moving up 1 spot, USC dominated Stanford. No surprises. Caleb Williams is looking for back-to-back Heismans. As this team is now 3-0, obviously played in Week 0. I don't know what to think about USC right now. I feel like they're a good team, but they haven't had any competition yet. So obviously I'm not completely sure of how I'm going to rank them, but for the AP poll, putting them at number 5, I think that's reasonable. They are a Pac-12 championship contender. Number 6, Ohio State down 1 spot. This Ohio State team continues to look not great. I'm going to be perfectly honest, they don't look great right now. Obviously, I don't know if that's because they're just not playing that great, or I don't really know, but they're not doing the best. I mean, 7-7 against Youngstown State after that first quarter. Obviously, the 135-7. But I feel like this offense has just not been what we think. I think Kyle McCord is not as good as people say he is. And I think a big thing is Ohio State right now, guys, could be in some trouble in the Big Ten this year. Number 7 remaining. Penn State remains number 7. Dominated Delaware 63-7. Obviously, of course, they're not going to lose to Delaware, but Penn State looks really good. Drew Allar, this defense, Nick Singleton. I think Penn State could maybe win the Big Ten, maybe make college football playoff push, but they are elite this year. So obviously don't count out Penn State. Number 8, remaining 8 is Washington. Dominated Tulsa 43-10. This is a team I still think can squeak into that number 4 spot in the college football playoff. I think they're going to win the Pac-12. I think Michael Penix looks like a Heisman kind of guy. He's got great receivers. The defense is looking good. I continue to think that Washington is one of the best teams in the nation, and they are 2-0. Number 9, Notre Dame. Look, I slept on this team. I said they weren't very good this year. I thought they were overrated, but they've actually really been good this year. They've showed that they are one of the nation's best teams. They're 3-0 right now, ranked 9th, dominated NC State on the road. Some people thought they would lose that. Sam Hartman looks great. He's been able to find guys that we didn't see last year. I think without a doubt, the Notre Dame Fighting Irish actually are looking like one of the better teams in the nation right now, ranked 9th. And ranked 10th, falling 7 spots, is Alabama. They lose to Texas. Concerns. Milroe, 2 picks, didn't look all that great. The defense, the secondary really struggled. And I think Alabama's not as good this year. I'm going to say it right now. I don't think the Crimson Tide are that good. Let's be honest here. Guys, we just saw them lose to Texas at home by double digits. Yeah, I think some concerns for Nick Saban's squad. Number 11, down 2 spots, Tennessee. They beat Austin Peay, but it was 6-6 at half. They ended up winning 30-13, but that's a little bit concerning heading into next week. They go to the Swamp to play Florida, my favorite team. Obviously, we got the win against McNeese. Happy there. But Tennessee, man, I feel like could be on upset watch as they go into the Swamp next weekend. Number 12, remaining the same, Utah. Almost lost to Baylor there. Baylor really played very well. I think we got it. Baylor was up most of the game until the very end. That cost the pick. But yeah, Utah won without. They're 2-0 without Cam Rising. Beat Florida, obviously beat Baylor. So I think Utah's in a fine position as a top 15 team right now. Number 13 remaining there is the Oregon Ducks. Now, what do we have to say about Oregon? I think big thing about the Oregon Ducks right now is they beat Texas Tech, pick 6 late in the game, field goal. Bo Nix is a Heisman candidate. And they went into Lubbock, a team that was hype after losing to Wyoming, and played well. I think Oregon legitimately looks very solid after week 2. Obviously, they have that week 4 matchup with Deion in Colorado. But remaining number 14 is LSU. Dominated Grambling. Not much to say here. I still think LSU has a good defense. I think because they lost to Florida State, people are saying this team is bad, but I really think they'll bounce back. I think this is a good LSU squad. Remaining 15, Kansas State. Some people thought Troy would get the upset. I might have been one of them. But Kansas State handled business with a 42-13 win over Troy. I think Will Howard, he looks really good. So we're going to continue to think that Will Howard is elite. And without that being said, though, Kansas State looks like a Big 12 champion contender yet again. Remaining 16, Oregon State. DJU, 66-14 win over UC Davis. They play Washington State in week 4. That'll be their first real challenge. But as of right now, Oregon State is looking like a solid 9-3, maybe even 10-2 team. I think Oregon State does look very good. And I'm going to say this right now. I think they're a dark horse Pac-12 sleeper. Dark horse just sleeper in college football. I like what there. So we finally get in the movement as 12 through 16 remain the exact same. Moving up 3 spots to number 17, Ole Miss. Went on the road to Tulane. It was close, but won 37-20. Jackson Dart proves everyone wrong. Has a great game, and I think Ole Miss is going to be good this year. I think they're in a good spot. They got a great quarterback in Jackson Dart, excellent running back. I think that win over Tulane on the road, I think, kind of showed that they can be really good this year. So obviously I'm not going to sleep on Ole Miss no more. Moving up 4 spots to 18, Deion and the Buffs dominated Nebraska. 36-14 on Big Noon kickoff. Folsom was packed. I live in Boulder. I could hear the Jets circling Folsom from where I live. I live about 15 minutes from Folsom Field. But yeah, CU, man, just looking excellent. Shador's looking like a Heisman kid. Travis didn't have his best game, but yeah, Buffs. Deion's got a program, and Colorado's 2-0 and ranked 18th in the nation right now. Moving up, or falling 1 spot to 19 is Oklahoma. Played SMU. Won 24-11. I didn't tune in. Wasn't that exciting. Had that dominating week 1 performance. I think they were okay yesterday, but I still think Brent Venables in Oklahoma has probably, I think, the second best team in the Big 12. Obviously, Texas is looking really good, but I think this Oklahoma team could win 9 games for sure. They're not bad at all. Falling 3 spots to number 20 is UNC. They won in double OT against App State. What is it with App State hanging with North Carolina last year? 63-61. North Carolina, though, wins 40-34. They still got that sensational quarterback in Drake May. Played great against South Carolina. North Carolina, though, struggles against App State. I don't know what it is, but they do win, and they remain undefeated 2-0. staying the same at number 21 is Duke. 42-7 over Lafayette, I want to say. I think it was that. Duke, 2-0. I think this is a sleeper in the ACC. Riley Leonard, he's a really good quarterback. And, Jeff Elko's got a great team going on right there in Durham. And I think Duke, without a doubt, could actually make some move. Maybe win 10 games would be huge for this program. But I think 9-3, where I have them right now. And then moving into the rankings at number 22, Miami taking down A&M 48-33. What a game they had. And I think I'm officially seeing that Miami could be pretty good this year. They're 2-0. Obviously a good ACC, but who knows? Miami could shock some people. Got a big win against A&M. And then officially it continues. Number 23 entering Washington State beats Wisconsin. That's huge. Let's talk about Wisconsin. Expected to be a good team this year, and they lose on the road. Washington State, great quarterback Cameron Ward. I love them this year, and I think Washington State could really be good in Pac-12. Moving into the rankings at 24, another Pac-12 team. UCLA is ranked now. I don't know exactly what they did, but Chip Kelly's got a good team this year. I think UCLA could win 9 games, 8 games for sure. But UCLA looks very good. And then 25, Iowa back in after week 1. They're 2-0. They beat Iowa State, win the Cy-Hawk. The Iowa Hawkeyes are ranked. And quickly falling, Wisconsin, Texas A&M dropped from the rankings. Who else dropped? I can't remember who else dropped. But, yeah, so that's pretty much it for today. Thank you for watching. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Comment who your favorite college football team is. And we'll see you in the next one. Bye.